watching Let's Chat.
We have mentioned all throughout the show that we're going to tell you how to become a volunteer firefighter. It's not necessarily an easy process to achieve that status, but it's one of the most self-rewarding things you could ever imagine. Joining us here to talk about that is Chief Bill Roach with the Inglewood Fire Department. Over here, our old friend, longtime friend, Eddie Phillips, retired East Ridge Fire Chief and the program coordinator. So, gentlemen, good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Last time you were here, you were talking about the need for firefighters, and you can look at the national news from California. There's a lot of volunteer firefighters out there. Going back to our last visit, how's the recruitment process been?
It's really going well, and thank you so much for putting us on. Last time we've actually been able to recruit hundreds of volunteer firefighters statewide during this program, but we want people to know that the need is still there, Chip. A lot of people, they just take the fire department for granted. They call 911, the fire department comes, and they don't think about the fact that they're volunteers. But really, about 70 to 80% of the fire departments out there are they're either all volunteer or mostly volunteer. And
right.
we really do need folks. We need We need people that want to come alongside, join that family of public safety and help.
And it is a family,
Yes,
an extended
really
family of like-minded individuals who are dedicated to serving their community. Chief Roach, let me ask you this. Who would be an ideal candidate for a volunteer firefighter position?
Most departments require people to be age 18 or older. Some departments have explorers, which are 14 to 18, but age is really, there's jobs for everyone.
Right.
The younger ones usually do a lot of the structural firefighting, but we have people that's, 55, 60. Some of our members are in their mid-60s, and, there's all kinds of jobs at the fire department. We have help doing maintenance, bookkeeping, accounting, and there's always a need. And
I think what Chief Phillips said a moment ago is so true. A lot of people tend to take firefighters for granted. And believe me, there's a lot to keep. Every fire station I've ever seen is like a little city within itself. And you got to keep that thing going regardless of what's happening.
Yeah.
Right. And it really is a family, and that's what we're wanting to do, is let your viewers all know that the need really exists for volunteers, and they are welcome, and we want them to come join and help protect their neighbors and help be guardians of their community, but also join that family and become part of the public safety community. It really is a brother and sisterhood.
It is.
There's no doubt about it. Life.
And taking that first step, it's easy. And if you don't necessarily fit in with the fire department, volunteer fire department here, you may fit in perfectly with one over here.
Right.
Yeah.
What's involved in that first step?
Well, the first step is that we have a website. It's volunteerfiretn.org, and you can go on that, and it's got multiple counties, and when you click the county that you're interested in, Eddie and them will usually send, like I'm from McMinn County, they'll send me a notice, I'll get a notice, and then I'll contact them, and we'll give them the closest fire department to where they live.
Any idea how many volunteer firefighters we have here, for example, just in Hamilton County?
No, I should know that, but I don't. But I would say that I know that there's hundreds.
Right.
And I do know that 70 to 80% of the departments are either all volunteer or mostly. Some departments do have career members, and then they supplement them with volunteers.
And in many cases, a volunteer firefighter can eventually find their way into a paid position.
Exactly. A lot of people volunteer because they just want to help their community. They want to be part of that family that does that, and then other people do volunteer because they see it as a career move. They want to get the training and experience.
Sure.
And then they hope to move on. And we see a lot of that. A lot of the younger people that come in, they get trained in the volunteer fire service, and then they're able to go to Chattanooga and all the other departments, because many of the departments in the metro area have paid people.
It is a great way to get into a professional firefighter position, and you never can tell, but I'd be willing to bet you a lot of money you will find lifelong friends just by becoming a volunteer firefighter. Gentlemen, we are out of time. You are always welcome back here in our studio, and thanks to you both for all of your service to our public. We thank you for joining us as well. Find out how. VolunteerFireTN.org. VolunteerFireTN.org.